What's up, creepers? I'm Kevin. This is Haunted by Horror, and today I'm talking about Chucky. Alright, let's do this. So, the first episode of the second season of the Chucky television series just came out, and I want to talk about it. I went over every episode as it came out of the first season, and I thought I'd keep up the tradition. Some of those videos are some of the most popular on my channel, and it really sort of kicked off my YouTube channel. I did have some issues with the first season. A lot of it was just nitpicky stuff and like character development for some of the new characters that we're introduced to. And I still have some of those same issues going into this second season. I'm still not on board with Lexi, and I really want to see the relationship develop between Jake and Devin because we're past that initial stage now, and I want to see them grow as a couple in this season. This video is going to contain some spoilers, so if you haven't watched the first episode of season 2 of Chucky, you might want to do that and then come back. Now, in the opening scene, we pick up right where we left off at the end of season 1, and it's a really cool scene. There's a lot of cool things that happen with the Tiffany doll and with all the Chucky dolls and Andy. And then they sort of throw all of that away. And I've really been thinking about how that season ended for this last year and wondering like what they were going to do, if like each episode was going to focus on a different Chucky doll and what they were up to and then bring it all together. And no, that's not what we're doing. They threw all of that out the window and went a totally different direction. The truck crashes. Apparently Andy dies. I don't believe that Andy's dead. And the Chucky dolls are all blown up. Tiffany dies. Jake is taken in by a foster family. He has a foster brother now. Devin is somewhere. Maybe he's taken in by a foster family too. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to matter going forward with the plot. Lexi is kind of doing her own thing. It takes us a little while to get to Lexi. There's a scene where Jake is about to leave with his new foster family, and he's saying goodbye to Devin, and they have to shake hands, and they really want to kiss, and there's just this palpable tension between the two of them in that scene, and I think it's really good.
I love you, Jake.
I love you more, Devin.
That's not possible.
But then Jake gets in the car, and they start to drive down the street, and Devin calls out to him, and so he has them stop the car, and they kiss in the middle of the street. And their kiss is half-assed. It's very half-assed kiss. Like, there's just not enough passion. And I really want to see their relationship develop in this next season. And we move to 6 months later on Halloween. Jake has a new stepbrother in this episode, and he's kind of annoying. He does this whole Robin thing, and he's very obsessed with Batman and Robin. And it's a little weird, but, you know, I don't know what the kid's been through. He's probably been through some trauma and stuff. And so it's kind of understandable that Batman is sort of his comfort. On Halloween night, somebody comes to Jake's door, and they have kind of Chucky-looking hair, but I feel that they show too much as they're approaching the door because you can see the overalls and the shirt, and you can tell it's not Chucky. And when they reach out to ring the doorbell, you can see that it's not Chucky's hand. And it kind of ruins what I think they were going for in that moment to make you suspect that it might be Chucky coming up to this door. And it's very clearly not. There's also sort of a Scream thing with a phone call that Jake gets from clearly Chucky. It's Brad Dourif's voice, and his voice as Chucky is so distinct, like there is no mistaking it. And I don't understand why Jake doesn't instantly recognize that voice.
Is Tamara home?
Who?
Tamara.
But he messes with him, he messes with Devin, and we get to see what Lexi is up to. And Chucky is at Lexi's house. And he video calls Devin and Jake to show them that he is going into Lexi's house. And he does this just to fuck with them. He doesn't actually kill anybody. He goes in, he leaves again, and it's just to mess with them. And that's sort of what draws them back together. And so they all meet up at Lexi's house. And Lexi's sister in therapy, which she has this weird therapist who says she collects dolls. And I really think that therapist is in on something. She gives Lexi's little sister, Caroline, this Tiffany doll. And so then she has this Tiffany doll, and it's because of Caroline's fear of dolls because of what happened in season 1, and she's trying to supposedly help her get over her fear of dolls. But Lexi, when they're home and no adults are around, tells her, like, don't ever trust a doll, and beats the crap out of this doll, ties it to a chair, and perfectly understandable. Perfectly understandable.
Keep this handy.
I do want to talk about the fact that Lexi, in the first scene that we see her in, is with some dude, which, you know, Junior died in the last season, and I guess she's trying to move on, but she's not ready for a serious relationship. Junior died, and her side piece died in the first season as well, because let's not forget, she was cheating on him the whole time. I don't know how long, but she was cheating on him very clearly. And then now she's with this guy, and she's taking anxiety medicine and snorting coke and just really not in a great place. But once we get Jake and Devin and Lexi all together again, then Jake's foster brother shows up with the Chucky doll, and the Chucky doll has a bomb, and he's convinced this little boy that it's a game and they're playing Batman, and somehow gets him in an Uber, the two of them. Some Uber driver picked up this little kid and this doll and just drove them to another town, which is crazy and doesn't really make sense. But he gets there, and Lexi's upstairs, so Chucky's waiting for her to come down so he can just blow them all up. Jake tries to text Lexi and let her know what's going on, and she totally does not get the message and starts to come down the stairs. And that's when Devin pulls out a taser and tases the Chucky doll, making him drop the bomb. Then the little kid grabs the bomb and runs off into the kitchen where this Tiffany doll is sitting. And the Chucky comes up behind him, grabs him, and they blow up. And somehow it only kills the little boy. Lexi and Jake and Devin are all totally fine, but they all get in trouble, but way less trouble than you would think they would in that situation. They all get shipped off to this Catholic boarding school, reform school. I'm not sure what it is. It's not juvenile detention center. It's something else. But apparently it's where Charles Lee Ray spent his time when he was a teenager. And so I think the flashbacks and stuff that we got from season 1 are probably going to play into this season a lot. I wonder if, with the situations they're put in, if there's going to be some callbacks to Child's Play 3 with Andy being in military school, because it seems like a very similar sort of setup. Now, they state in the episode that this Chucky doll was on a kamikaze mission, and so obviously there are more Chucky dolls, and that's going to play into this because we don't know how many Chuckies there are. There aren't 72, I assume, but we don't know how many there are and how much of a role that's going to play in this season. Um, Also, I don't believe that Andy's dead. I really don't. I think he'll be back. I think Kyle will be back too. Um, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing them and seeing what happens with all of that. I'm really sort of excited to see what happens going forward. I'm disappointed that this season isn't what I thought it was going to be, given the way that the first season ended. But there could be some really cool stuff in this season, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, well, I think that's going to be about it for now. I'm going to be doing these videos going forward every week as new episodes are released. If you like this video, can you please hit the like button? You can also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be updated whenever I upload a new video about the Chucky series or about other horror movies. And until next time, keep on creeping on.
Subscribe, damn it. I'll be back. I always come back, and so should you, you moron.